Do you believe 32 PSI is safe for your tires? Today is the day you finally face the truth. Stop setting tire pressure to 32 PSI. You're destroying your tires, suspension, and brakes without even knowing it. You will learn why this number is killing your car. And at the end, I'll show a 30-second tire reset trick that fixes it instantly. Let's start with the myth. Where did the 32 PSI myth come from? Before I answer this question, here is one you should answer. Who told you to set your tires to 32 PSI? Was it a tire shop, a mechanic, your dad, or just something everyone seems to know? Because that number did not come from your car. The 32 PSI rule came from old tire shop shortcuts. Years ago, shops needed one pressure that worked well enough for most passenger cars. Not perfect, just fast and convenient. So 32 PSI became the default setting. Over time, that shortcut turned into advice. Mechanics repeated it, drivers passed it down, and eventually the internet locked it in as a standard. The problem is that cars didn't stay the same. Vehicles became heavier, suspensions more complex, tires wider, and pressure sensitivity far more critical. But the advice never evolved. Today's vehicles are engineered with very specific weight distribution and suspension geometry, yet people are still using a pressure number created when cars were smaller, lighter, and simpler. But even if you ignore the old school advice, there's another number that confuses most drivers every day: the sidewall lie. Now, most people believe in the tire pressure they see on the tire sidewall. That number looks official, bold, and important, so drivers assume it must be the correct pressure to use. But that belief is wrong. Do you know why car brands use OEM parts, including tires? It's because they've tested and partnered with the provider to make each part specific for that car model. The pressure printed on the tire is not the pressure your car needs. It is the maximum pressure the tire can safely hold, not the recommended pressure for your vehicle. That number exists to protect the tire, not your car. This mistake gets worse because tire brands are different. Two tires can be the same size, the same width, and the same rim size, but still have different pressure numbers printed on them. One brand might show 44 PSI, another might show 51 PSI. That does not mean one is better, or that your car suddenly needs more air. It only means those tires are built differently. Some tires have stiffer sidewalls, others are softer. Some are made for comfort, others are made for heavy loads or longer life. Even when the tire size looks the same, the internal structure can be very different. Your car does not change just because you change tire brands. So, what really happens when you set car tire to 32 PSI? The following happens. Number 1, higher risk of blowouts and structural failure. When tire pressure is wrong, the danger is not just comfort or tire wear. It starts inside the tire itself. Tires are built to flex in very specific ways. When pressure is too low, the sidewalls bend too much as the tire rolls. That bending creates heat, and heat is what destroys tires from the inside. Over time, the internal layers weaken. Steel belts can separate. Rubber breaks down. The tire may still look fine on the outside, but the structure is already failing. This is why blowouts often happen at highway speed, long after the mistake was made. Too much pressure causes a different problem. The tire becomes stiff and brittle. Instead of absorbing impacts, it transfers force straight into the structure. A pothole, curb, or sharp bump can crack belts or cords instantly. This hidden damage doesn't stop at the tire. The force has to go somewhere, and that's when suspension parts start taking the hit. Number 2, suspension damage and premature wear. Your tires are the first layer of suspension your car has. They are supposed to absorb bumps, cracks, and small impacts before that force ever reaches the shocks and struts. When you set every tire to 32 PSI, Without checking what your car actually needs, that protection breaks down. Overinflated tires become stiff. They stop cushioning the road and send sharp impacts straight into the suspension. Shocks and struts are forced to work harder than they were designed to. Bushings compress faster. Ball joints take harder hits. Over time, these parts wear out early, even though the car is not old. Underinflated tires create a different kind of damage. The tire flexes too much, making the suspension constantly fight for control. This causes extra movement, heat, and stress on mounting points and control arms. Most drivers never connect worn suspension parts to tire pressure. They blame rough roads or bad parts instead. But once the suspension starts wearing unevenly, the tires suffer next, and the damage spreads even faster. Number 3. Uneven and accelerated tire wear. Just like any other car part, tires go through wear and tear, and that's expected, but it should happen evenly and gradually, not fast, uneven, and expensive. And, like I explained above, setting every tire to 32 PSI can cause structural stress by forcing the tire to bend in ways it was not designed to. When tire pressure is too low, the edges of the tire carry more weight than the center. The sidewalls flex too much, heat builds up, and the outer tread wears down quickly. The tire may still have tread in the middle, but the edges are already damaged. When tire pressure is too high, the opposite happens. The center of the tire takes most of the load. That center tread wears out first, even though the rest of the tire looks fine. In both cases, the tire wears unevenly. Once that happens, rotation can't fix it, balancing won't fix it, alignment won't save it either. Most drivers replace tires early without knowing why, and once tire wear becomes uneven, it doesn't just end there. That loss of grip directly affects how your car stops and handles. If you've been running 32 PSI without knowing this, hit like, subscribe, and share this before someone learns it the expensive way. Number 4. Reduced braking and poor handling. If you set every tire to 32 PSI, your car won't brake the way it should. That number may feel normal, but it often does not match what your car needs. Tires with the wrong pressure do not make full contact with the road. Less contact means less grip. Less grip means your car takes longer to stop. Even small steering adjustments become harder. Turns feel loose, corners feel sloppy, and your car may sway more than it should. Emergency braking becomes risky because the tires cannot grip the road properly. You might hit the brakes and expect the car to stop, but instead, it drifts or slides slightly. That tiny loss of control can turn a small mistake into a big accident. This loss of control also impacts fuel efficiency, because the car constantly compensates, fighting to remain stable. Number 5. Worse fuel economy. This is one big effect of putting 32 PSI on cars that need more or less. But most drivers will never realize it because you can't easily see or feel it. Your car's engine has to work harder to push tires that are not properly inflated. When tires are too soft or too stiff, they create extra rolling resistance. That means more energy is needed just to move the car forward. Over time, this small inefficiency adds up. You end up filling your tank more often, but you never know exactly why. It's invisible damage that quietly costs money every week. Even a few PSI off from your car's recommended pressure can reduce fuel efficiency by several %. Over a year, that's hundreds of dollars wasted. And here's the scary part. This is usually just one of several tire mistakes happening at the same time. If you want to see the other drivers make every single day, click the link above for car tire mistakes you're making right now. It might explain the costs you've been blaming on everything else. Let's continue. So how should I know the exact PSI for my car, you might ask? The answer is on a sticker everyone ignores. Instead of going for the sidewall prints, you have a truth just beside you that you can always trust. It's the sticker inside your driver's side door jamb. That sticker tells you exactly what tire pressure your car was designed for. Front tires, rear tires, even cold pressure, it's all there. Engineers calculate it based on your car's weight, suspension, braking system, and load distribution. It's specific for your vehicle, not for the tire brand or a one-size-fits-all number like 32 PSI. Following that sticker keeps your car balanced, safe, and performing like it should. Checking it is simple. Open the driver's door and look along the door frame. It's usually the only sticker there, and it includes recommended front and rear PSI, tire size, load limits, and cold pressure guidance. That sticker is the final authority. Ignore it and everything else becomes guesswork. Now, there's one thing on that sticker that confuses most drivers every single time. They see two different numbers, pause for a second, and immediately think something's wrong. Front and rear don't match. Why front and rear PSI are often different. Don't get me wrong here. When you check your tires, you might notice that the front tires have a different recommended pressure than the rear tires. Many drivers see this and assume it means they need to inflate the front and rear differently for no reason. That's not exactly the case. Here's what it really means. The front and rear tires carry different loads. Most cars have the engine in the front, which adds weight. That weight changes how the tires contact the road and how much pressure is needed to support the car safely. The rear tires may carry less weight, or in some vehicles, like SUVs and trucks, they may carry more if the car is designed to haul cargo. This difference does not mean you can guess or set all four tires to the same number. It also does not mean you should pressurize the tires to match each other arbitrarily. You always follow the numbers on your door sticker. That's the safe, tested pressure for your car. Front and rear PSI numbers are simply there to balance the car. They make sure the suspension, braking, and handling work as intended. If you ignore these differences and just stick to 32 PSI everywhere, the car will ride worse, tires will wear unevenly, and braking can feel unstable. Myself, I normally pressure all my tires to 40 PSI because that's what my Outback recommends. Even after some heavy hauling, when the tires may naturally show slightly different pressure, I still fill them all up to the same number. It keeps the car balanced, predictable, and easy to drive. Knowing the difference is one thing, but getting the timing right is just as important. Cold tire pressure explained. One thing almost every driver gets wrong is checking tire pressure at the wrong time. Tire pressure changes with temperature, so if you measure it right after driving, you get a false reading. Heat from the road and friction make the air inside the tire expand. That can add several PSI in just a few minutes. That's why the numbers on your door sticker always say cold tire pressure. Cold means the car has been sitting for at least 3 hours or hasn't been driven more than a mile or two. Checking at this point gives an accurate starting point. From there, you can inflate the tires to the recommended number and trust that it's correct. Most drivers skip this step. They check after driving, see a higher number, and let the pressure drop naturally. Or they inflate too much, thinking it's safe. Either way, the car suffers from uneven handling, faster tire wear, and less efficient braking. Understanding cold tire pressure is simple, but it solves a lot of hidden problems. And once you get this right, it's time to think about how the changing seasons affect your tires and why what's perfect today might not be tomorrow. Seasonal PSI changes. Why your tires lose air. Even if you set your tires perfectly today, the numbers won't stay the same forever. One thing most drivers don't realize is that seasons have a huge effect on tire pressure. As temperatures change, so does the air inside your tires. And that affects how your car rides, handles, and brakes. In winter, cold air causes the air inside your tires to shrink. For roughly every 10 degrees Fahrenheit drop, your tire pressure drops about 1 PSI. That might not sound like a lot, but if the temperature falls 30 degrees, that's 3 PSI lost on every tire. Suddenly, a tire that was perfect at 36 PSI is now at 33 PSI or less, and your car begins to feel softer, less responsive, and less stable. In summer, the opposite happens. Heat makes the air expand. Tires can gain 2 to 5 PSI just from sitting in the sun or driving a short distance. If you fill your tires without checking, you might end up overinflated, which makes the ride harsher and reduces the tire's contact with the road. That overinflation can also increase the risk of a blowout if you hit a pothole or curb. Spring and fall are tricky because temperatures fluctuate daily. One morning can be freezing, and the afternoon may feel like summer. In these seasons, tire pressure can swing several PSI in just a few hours. That's why monthly checks are not enough. Drivers need to be aware that the pressure changes with the weather, not just with time. Some drivers notice the tire pressure warning light coming on during cold mornings and ignore it, thinking it's a faulty sensor. But in reality, the sensor is accurate. Your tires have lost pressure because of the temperature drop, and the car is warning you before it becomes dangerous. Here's a simple rule of thumb. Check your tires at least once a month and always when the seasons change. Adjust your cold tire pressure according to the numbers on the door sticker, not the old 32 PSI everywhere habit. That way, your car handles correctly, tires last longer, and your brakes work as designed. And now that you understand how seasons affect your tires, it's time to look at a few special cases where the standard rules don't always apply. Some older compact cars, lightweight sedans, or vehicles designed decades ago were built with smaller tires and lighter suspension. For example, cars like the Honda Civic from the early 2000s, the Toyota Corolla from the late 1990s, or the Mazda 3 from the early 2010s might have recommended pressures close to 32 PSI on their door stickers. In these cases, 32 PSI could be safe for daily driving. Even then, it's not a universal rule. Just because one car can safely run at 32 doesn't mean every car can. Always check the numbers on the sticker. That sticker was designed for your car's weight, suspension, braking system, and load distribution, not for some general standard that everyone repeats. Another case is when you have identical tires that are brand new and built for comfort rather than heavy loads. In rare situations, the tire size and load rating might make 32 PSI safe for short trips or light use. But as soon as you carry cargo, drive long distances, or hit higher speeds, the number can become unsafe. No matter the special case, the door sticker is always your guide. Using it takes the guesswork out of tire care and avoids the hidden costs of over or underinflating your tire. Now that you know why 32 PSI can be dangerous, here's a quick 30-second tire pressure reset trick to get your car back to the exact pressure it was engineered to run. First, locate your door sticker on the driver's side. This is your car's trusted guide. Check the numbers for front and rear tires and make a mental note. Next, grab a reliable tire pressure gauge. Don't trust the cheap gas station ones. They're often inaccurate. I have posted my recommended brand in the descriptions below. You can check it out. Remove the valve cap and check each tire when it's cold, before you've driven far. Compare the reading to the sticker. If any tire is low, add air until it matches the recommended number. If it's slightly high, let some air out. Do this for all 4 tires. Finally, replace the valve caps and give the tires a quick visual check. That's it. Doing this monthly, or anytime the seasons change, keeps your tires, suspension, and brakes in top shape. Even after fixing your pressure, most drivers are still trapped by old tire myths. Low versus high profile, hidden risks, and tiny mistakes that destroy tires fast. Don't fall for them. Click the link below to uncover what's really going on.